Hello, this is Yomokurium. Hyundai Motor Group recently reported its Q1 results. Sales rose 9.2% and operating profit 2.1% from last year, making it one of the few growing companies. These days, due to the poor economy, other manufacturers are struggling with restructuring or mergers, but Hyundai Motor Group is simply remarkable. However, when announcing the first quarter results, another surprising piece of information was revealed. It's the revival of the diesel engine. In Korea, after Volkswagen's Dieselgate scandal, diesel vehicles quickly disappeared or were discontinued. Recently, as even domestic vehicles like the Staria and Porter lost their diesel engine lineups, many people voiced concerns that discontinuing even trucks was going too far. But this isn't just a rumor, including the official announcement that they are making eco-friendly diesel vehicles again in the most important and significant performance report is a key strategy for the future. So I'll let you know when the diesel engine will be released and what makes it different. What I think is amazing about Hyundai is exactly this. They were making diesel engines again. All manufacturers are shifting their strategies to electrification and quickly releasing electric vehicles, but electric vehicle sales are sluggish not only globally but also domestically. Also, since it's been some time since electric vehicles were released, those who wanted to experience them have already bought one. It's true that even new demand is limited. In this situation, the first brand to call for electrification was Volvo, and Volvo is also recently revising its previously announced electrification strategy. However, no manufacturer has officially brought back diesel, but of course, Europe-based Benz or BMW are still releasing diesel vehicles. Hyundai released its first quarter results and announced a new eco-friendly diesel. This statement is being evaluated as a sign that they are responding flexibly to existing eco-friendly policies at a truly rapid pace. Even more important is when it will be released. They said the new car will launch in the third quarter of this year. It's the second quarter right now. That means there are only a few months left, so this must mean that everything is already prepared. So, can we assume that the internal testing has already been completed? Once they get Ministry of Environment certification, it can be released. That's why it's a bit scary. I've mentioned this several times on the channel, but the manufacturers have already prepared all the technology needed for release in line with market changes. That's why they can respond so quickly. So which vehicles could be released as diesel models? Vehicles like the Avante Full Change and the Tucson fall into this category. Diesel cars offer excellent fuel efficiency and power with a unique appeal. For compact cars, diesel models are so popular that choosing a costly hybrid isn't necessary. Compact diesel vehicles remain highly popular in Europe, continuing to drive strong sales. Some vehicles will also launch in Korea in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, the Grandeur facelift is being prepared, and after that, vehicles like the Santa Fe facelift are also being prepared. Diesel is very appealing in mid to large sized vehicles due to its excellent fuel efficiency and strong power. If you think about it, it would be really great if discontinued vehicles like the Porter or Staria could be revived as diesels. Looking at the details, it says that 15-seater vans, light trucks, and gas vehicles are excluded from diesel engine development. For passenger cars, it is said that they have been newly manufactured to meet the updated road emission standards. Unfortunately, it looks like diesel vehicles such as the Porter or Staria won't be available soon. If that's the case, we'll have to wait and see whether the first candidates to get diesel engines will be all of the Avante, Tucson, Grandeur, and Santa Fe models, or just some of them. But there must be a reason why Hyundai suddenly announced the revival of diesel, right? Currently, Euro 6 standards are applied in Korea, and originally, Euro 7 was scheduled to be implemented. However, considering the costs, manufacturers have chosen electrification instead, since reducing nitrogen oxides from the current 80 to 60 would be required. Since the regulation was seen as unrealistic, the European Union chose to adopt a more relaxed Euro 7 standard based on Euro 6. Since standards have been relaxed, internal combustion engines can be expected to last at least another 10 years. Hyundai Motor Group, which has a high proportion of small car sales in Europe, announced that it will be the fastest among automakers to launch eco-friendly diesel vehicles starting from this year's third quarter. It's not a small shop but a major corporation, so their response speed is really impressive. If this happens, Hyundai Motor Group will have a full lineup of hybrid systems, which are the mainstream. In Korea, the full hybrid is very popular, while in Europe and other regions, plug-in hybrid electric 5S are being sold. For Genesis vehicles, the 48.5 mild hybrid system is available. In other words, they have a complete hybrid lineup. In addition, they also sell pure internal combustion engine vehicles like gasoline, diesel, and liquefied petroleum gas cars. Also, electric vehicles have the most favorable conditions. The manufacturer is Hyundai Motor Group, like Hyundai or Kia. Additionally, they have revived their eco-friendly diesel engine lineup, so could diesel be released as a hybrid powertrain? Just to let you know in advance, from now on, this is the channel's prediction. It's not official information. It seems like the diesel engine will be released again soon, so could diesel be released as a hybrid? If we assume the current market situation, it wouldn't make sense to develop a diesel hybrid powertrain just because the diesel engine has made a comeback. Then, I think what's important is whether diesel hybrid technology has already been developed or if it has ever been developed before. On this channel, I've told you that diesel hybrid powertrains have been in development for 4 or 5 years now. In the industry, there was a lot of talk that if the Dieselgate scandal hadn't happened, Hyundai Motor Group would have released a diesel hybrid as well. I'll repeat, this isn't official, just industry talk. Manufacturers develop all the technologies they plan to sell in advance, and depending on the market situation, they flexibly bring them out and use them as needed, as I mentioned before. They appear to have the technology secured, but it's unclear if it will enter mass production. I still hope it does. For the first time in a while, Hyundai has revived the diesel engine, and it seems like their strategy is to capture diesel demand not only in the European market, where demand is still high, but also in markets like Southeast Asia. This means that electrification could be delayed more than expected. On the channel, vehicles like full hybrids will be covered until safer electric cars are released. I expect that they will play an important role for a longer period of time than expected. This video was a bit dry, but thank you for watching until the end. To get the next video automatically, subscribe and enable notifications. Thank you. If this was even a little bit helpful, please give it a like. Subscribe and turn on notifications to get accurate new car information quickly. Thank you.